Now, let's stay on this and talk about how Netflix is just the latest example of workers holding companies accountable.
Yeah, we have seen companies taking public stands on social issues, but are they practicing what they preach? NBC News reporter Ahiza Garcia-Hodges joins us now. She's been looking into the trend of companies taking a stand on these issues. Now, you spoke with experts on corporate activism. This is a relatively new phenomenon. What did they tell you about the situation at Netflix and what's behind companies just taking a stand in general now?
It's part of what's a broader trend where employees are really wanting to see, the ideals and identities that they hold in their private lives reflected in work and in their corporate ideals. In the case of Netflix, for instance, we have employees who are saying, look, you may come out and publicly, Netflix has been proactive about publicly supporting LGBTQ plus issues and voices in some of their content. But at the same time, there's often dissonance between what a company publicly says and then, internal sentiment among employee, toxicity in the workplace culture. And so that dissonance is what employees are now saying, look, this is not okay. And there's a disconnect and we need to hold you accountable so that you are matching more closely what you are publicly saying.
Now, Ahiza, let's talk a little bit more about what we're hearing from Netflix's CEO. So in Steve's story, we just saw some of this interview that he gave, and he said that he, quote, screwed up, and that I had a group of employees who were definitely feeling pain and hurt from a decision we made. In that same interview, though, this was an interview with Variety, he also was asked, so is this hate speech? And he basically said he didn't think it crosses the line. Walk us through kind of this duality here, wanting to do what your employees are asking, wanting to make sure that everybody who works there feels safe, but then working in this entertainment space. I mean, kind of just walk us through how those two things can add up and what the impact is going to be here on employees and if they're giving them what they're asking for.
So essentially, there's often, employees are, in this case, saying that, what you are saying is this is offensive to us and you are not listening to us. And so it is bigger and broader than just the Dave Chappelle special in and of itself. There is this disconnect between, the corporate culture that they are trying to say that, we uphold, and then the way that companies are feeling they are not being heard and that these ideals are not being reflected. And we're seeing this, this need to make a public stance is something that has kind of been bolstered by the reach of social media and the democratization that allows there for employees to really, have a broader impact with some of their, their feelings about companies, not upholding these values.
Absolutely. Ahiza, this is one that we've been covering quite a bit, a whole back and forth here, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.